Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at the tropical Atlantic, as we have an area in the Caribbean that we are really watching, and some other little stuff in the Atlantic. So let's get right into it. So yes, we do have an area here, clearly X'd as orange. Pretty much the colors mean a low, medium, and a very high chance. Down here pretty much tells you 60 and above is high chance, 40 and above is a medium chance, and anything below a 40 is a low chance of development. But that is it right there. Then you can see the other icons: depression in the circle, tropical storm, and then the one clearly as a hurricane, and then post-tropical cyclone or remnants are all down here. So a great website, the National Hurricane Center, really tells you everything that you need to know when they do these discussions, and then you can tell where they think the favorability of development is possible. And anywhere in this orange box, including the Bay of Campeche and parts of the northwestern Caribbean, they do indicate that's where they do think the chance of development will occur, if any at all. And you can tell with the X. I do think this could have, this could be a little bit sooner. There's some indications that maybe this could try and develop just a little bit quicker than thought. But let's take a look at the silent imagery. Just give me 1 second. I did have this up, but clearly it went away. But that is alright, because it's already fixed at this point. So there is that tropical wave, clearly here, well present. And what do we see here in this tropical wave? So number one, we do see winds doing something like this. We do see winds moving like this, definitely on the northern side. It's kind of hard to see what's going on down here. It's kind of really hard. I would say, if anything, axis wave is in here. You can kind of tell we still have winds moving like this, and then kind of moving like this, and then I can't really tell. I would say probably like this here. I don't see any indications that we have winds wrapping around, really. If anything, of a low level, I wouldn't say at all a low level center. I would say axis wave somewhere in here. That this trough, this is how the surface analysis I am seeing. The shear is starting to relax a bit, so that will help to get some more thunderstorms on this side. Only thing that's preventing this storm really is some drier air. And why is this so much different than what we thought in my live stream? And I know you guys are going to be like, oh my gosh, you were saying this is going to be a tropical storm by today at least. And yeah, I was wrong, and some other people were wrong. And the models really struggled in this one. So let's take a look. This is the wind shear with the latest GFS. And as we take a look at the models, there it is. Our wave, there is actually, you could tell even on the model, there is some westerly winds here against this system, alright? That's why, and this actually plays a very big role of our current analyzing. If we take a look here, let's just update and make sure this is good. This kind of shows on the model too. Yes, we do see lighter conditions actually of shear in the central and northwestern Caribbean and the Bay of Campeche. But then you can see some westerly shear through the storm here on this side, and then you can kind of see where our axis wave is. So we kind of still have unfavorable wind shear pattern overhead of this system, with the fact of it getting better. So this kind of plants it out pretty well on the GFS as a surface analyzer. And this was actually 2. This is actually 8 o'clock. So a little bit better. But as we continue, we do tell the shear does get a little bit less. And we do start seeing a wave that does develop maybe a little bit before Jamaica. And we could definitely see some development definitely in the northwestern Caribbean. And as we continue, there it is. We do get a tropical storm, and even, yes, we do get a hurricane clearly shown on there. The environment does get a little bit more conducive, and it actually strengthens all the way up to landfall as a potentially strong Cat 1 hurricane, a 980 millibar storm, hitting the Mexico area, then coming across, kind of getting lingered in the Gulf, and then we do see it come out of the Bay Campeche again, and then from there and on, I really don't want to look at it because this is even more beyond. But if we had to, for funs and giggles, it does show clearly a major hurricane moving right into Louisiana and Texas border area. This is very uncertain because of the previous model runs. Yes, you can clearly tell there. So let's take a look at surface analyzing. We can kind of see the wave struggles all the way into where the National Hurricane Center actually has it, and then develops rather quickly into a strengthening tropical storm, and then even a Category 1 hurricane. And we can tell this storm slows down significantly, and with the water temperatures, and if there's not enough wind shear to keep it disturbed, then you can tell clearly we do get a strong strengthening hurricane into Belize and Mexico, Central America. Alright. And then after that, that makes a landfall, weakens. And then this kind of, the remnants or whatever, this is kind of a weird pattern. And then it comes out of the Bay Campeche, re-strengthens, stalls for a bit, becomes a hurricane, and then clearly a bomb-out major hurricane. But let's just go one run ago. Alright. Where was it? This was the remnants. All the way down here. Alright, no major hurricane. So take the GFS with a grain of salt. I shouldn't even have went out that far, but that's your GFS for you. It's a little, this year it's been especially very weird on how it's been. The dry air, if we actually take a look at the current dry air, and I wonder if we, so this is the upper levels moisture, and the upper levels, it's fine. There's no really dry air in the upper levels, but in the lower levels, yes, you could tell there is some drier air within these thunderstorms. Especially, you can start seeing some of these yellow shades starting to get into here, and that indicates some dry air. And yes, it's starting to get a little, I would say it's starting some signs of a little bit better organizing system or wave, whatever you want to call it, but it's still going to be struggling with the dry air and some of that westerly shear. That's in the low level levels. If we looked in the mid levels atmosphere, there's a little bit better, maybe not as moist as the upper levels, but especially the lower levels, there is some dry air seeping in, and even in the mid levels. So thank you, Collage of DuPage. You guys, I love your page, and I love the satellite because we can actually take a look at the dry air in the mid levels, lower levels, and dry in the upper levels. So we can kind of see all the levels with the dry air, really give this satellite imagery presentation a good analysis and kind of compare that with the models and see where we're at. So thank you and shout out to them. And if you guys will love to check out their page, it will be in the link below. Alright, so let's continue. And yes, once again, I do say in the next 24 hours, it continues to get into a better atmosphere. Drier does wash out, and eventually it does. And I do think we could see even more earlier development than the GFS. Wouldn't surprise me. We're going to really have to see how this plays out tomorrow. And if we do see a much better looking wave with a developing surface low, then yeah, we are going to be looking at a potential big situation on our hands. But take it all for a grain of salt. And even with the GFS developing it like this, I mean, perfect moisture atmosphere, the wind shear not even that bad. So it all makes sense, and clearly it does something like that. And then for fun and giggles, let's look at the major hurricane. And yeah, no really dry air, maybe towards the end of the model run. But by the way, that's over like 15 days out. So take it with a grain of salt. Still a lot of uncertainty. But that's your GFS model. That's the storm that keeps the system's hope alive, pretty much. We take a look at the icon that used to show this, and it got a little bit better in the 18Z, kind of showing now a surface low does develop and actually brings back a maybe tropical depression or tropical storm in the previous runs today. So that's a huge indicator that, yes, maybe the models are starting to agree. And then once again, I still don't even know why I even show this part. Look at the Gulf, and for some reason the icon still believes that the Gulf system even has a shot. But in reality, it's not even there anymore from the National Hurricane Center. So no development, you guys. Don't even look at the icon anymore. This is why I think the icon is still off. And I just think the models are a little whack. If you guys know what I mean, you guys know what I mean. Alright? Sorry about that if you guys heard that. That was me bumping into the mic. But even the Canadian just really shows nothing. Maybe a tropical storm, tropical depression into the Bay of Campeche. Not even developing in the Northwest Caribbean. Even the chances for that really died. And then pretty much after that, just a lot of leftover moisture from the Canadian really showing. So there's still a bit of uncertainty, you guys. Still, it's quite a bit of uncertainty. And if we looked at the euro, and yeah, any thoughts? Is euro just doesn't see anything with the system anymore, and it's quite a bummer if you guys were hoping for the system to come out true. But Euro's not really showing anything. Icon's showing a bit. CMC's showing a bit. So there's still some hope in the models. And for one weird thing I will say is the ensembles. Alright, we'll look more into that. But for the funds, let's just take a look at the NAM model. 84 hours out. Do we even see anything? And no. And for some reason, we do see vorticity develops in the Gulf of Mexico. And I still don't get it. Why these models are still hatching on the stuff in the Gulf. Because there's no chance, you guys. Really, there's really nothing to really look at in the Gulf. But that's just how it is. But now let's take a look at this, some more environmental conditions currently and what we could see. And this is that vorticity. And right now, the vorticity from yesterday and the day before really just stretched out. We really do not see any vorticity in the bundle. So that's an indication that our wave got a little bit disturbed. Once again, this is the shear. And if we looked at the past 24 hours, it tells you if it increased or decreased. In the last 24 hours, it has decreased in shear. So we'll be able to tell with the next update. And if the shear does continue to decrease, I could see a bit more out of this system than expected. But for now, let's take a look at the European and GEFS ensembles. And it's actually very interesting. Okay. So we're going to actually take a look at 240. And yeah, you really see it, right? Yeah, I see it. Look at that. The European ensembles still going whack. And for some reason, very weirdly, it's like the GFS maybe doesn't really develop over here. It does begin, makes landfall, but look at this. The track guidance goes straight north like the GFS. So that's a bit interesting. The European ensembles still showing some life in this, and I'm actually pretty surprised. The GEFS ensembles shows, once again, I think this is just ridiculous at this point. Is it does show development even before these islands, and yes, I do see that some ensemble showing major hurricane thing. I do not see that at all, you guys, so don't even worry. If that was going to happen, we're gonna have to see just absolutely major developing tonight, tomorrow, and even the next day to really see anything more than just a Cat 1 hurricane. But that is pretty much it. Alright, I really don't know what else to talk about here with this system until we really see some more detailing with it. And yes, we do see some more band features, not even band features, just some more showers and thunderstorms on the northern side here. Still a disorganized wave, but yeah, that is pretty much it, and we'll probably talk more tomorrow. So stay tuned and stay safe. See you guys tomorrow in the next one.